Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence,
community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
is senior day here at Elmhurst College, and that means you have an opportunity to get to know our 5 seniors just a little bit better. First up, number 24, Haley Rowe. Haley is a 4-year regular for the Blue Jays who has appeared in 32 career contests. She has career totals of 46 points, 38 rebounds, 19 assists, 3 block shots, and 8 steals. She is a graduate of Liberty High School in Colorado and the daughter of Kelly and Vince Rowe. Number 24, Haley Rowe. Number 10, James Schwartzman. She is a 4-year learner who returned for her final season after missing the 2011-2012 season with an injury. She has appeared in 71 contests, including 15 as a starting guard. She has career totals of 327 points, 152 rebounds, 74 assists, 8 block shots, and 87 steals. She is a graduate of Glenbard South High School and the daughter of Joanne and Dan Schwartman. Number 10, Tim Schwartman. Number 22, Karen Sennett. Karen is a 2-year regular starter for the Blue Jays after transferring to Elmhurst prior to the start of last season. She has played and started in 49 games and earned 13 all-conference honors last season. After leading Elmhurst in assists and averaging 8.4 points per game. Her career totals are 440 points, 146 rebounds, 170 assists, 6 block shots, and 41 steals. Her 64 career three-pointers rank 8th in Elmhurst history, while her .388 three-point percentage is tied for the Elmhurst career record. She is a graduate of Sodonia High School in Alaska and the daughter of Carol and Brent Sennett. Number 22, Karen Sennett. Number 13, Nikki Schaefer. Nikki has appeared in 48 career contests while earning 4 letters at Elmhurst. She has career totals of 109 points, 59 rebounds, 25 assists, 1 block shot, and 8 steals. She is a graduate of Cardinal Newman High School in Florida and is accompanied by her mom, Adrian, and her grandparents, Bob and Cynthia. Number 13, Nikki Schaefer. Number 3, Devin Vaughn. Devin will play in her 1,100 career contest this afternoon. She is a 4-year learner who has started in 69 career contests, including every game this season. She has career totals of 564 points, 283 rebounds, 284 assists, 44 block shots, and 92 steals. Her 284 career assists is the second highest total in Elmhurst history, and she needs only 2 assists today to tie the career record at 286. She is a graduate of Western Royal High School and the daughter of Gary and John Vaughn. Number 3, Devin Vaughn. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 5 senior Blue Jays.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Elmhurst College, R.A. Fagnall Hall, the site of this extremely important CCIW women's basketball game, as the Blue Jays and the Cardinals hope to get a win for a bid into the CCIW tournament via the 4th seed. My name's Luke Tanaka, and I'm delighted to bring you all the action. So glad to have you alongside. It also happens to be senior day for the Blue Jays, or senior day for the Blue Jay women and the men, as they're set to take on the North Central College Cardinals. As you can see, the North Central College starters currently being introduced. Starting for the Cardinals, Kelsey Cooling, a junior guard. Bobby Johns, also a junior guard. Marion Beck, a senior guard. Paula Zarante, a freshman guard. And Izuri Williams, she's a forward. And as the lights dim, the Elmhurst College starters will be introduced, starting for the Blue Jays this evening. 00, Fiona McMahon. She's one of the leading scorers in CCAW play thus far this season. Senior Devin Vaughn, who is just honored. She's 2 assists away from breaking the Elmhurst College record for most assists. Katie Swanson, she's a guard. Karen Sinnett, she's also a guard. And Hannah Lipman, she is a guard as well. They will be the starters for the Blue Jays. As I said before, it's a really big game for both teams, as both teams are in contention for the final spot in the CCIW tournament. 3 teams have already clinched: Carthage, Illinois Wesleyan, and Wheaton. And the 4th seed all up for grabs. 3 teams, North Central, Elmhurst, and Milliken, vying for that final spot. North Central's head coach is Michelle Roof, and Elmhurst College Blue Jays head coach Tethnic Carrillo. Both teams getting extremely fired up for this game, as it means so much, not only for the seniors, but also for CCW contention. Elmhurst must win to stay in contention. North Central must win to stay in contention. As we said earlier, the seniors: number 24, Haley Rowe. Number 10, Kim Schwertman. Number 22, Karen Sinnett. She's starting. Number 13, Whitney Schaefer. And number 3, Devin Vaughn. She is also starting. It will be McMahon and Williams shaking hands before dueling for the tip. McMahon, second team all-conference last year. We got to look out for her. She's 14 points during CCW play, one of the top scorers in the conference. Tip goes back to Sinnett and the Blue Jays, who will quickly look underneath. For those of you who aren't familiar with North Central women's basketball, they play a very similar system to the one that made Jack Taylor, a Division III player at Grinnell College, famous for being in a little college in Iowa, for scoring 138 points last year. Now, we won't expect 138 from any of these North Central women, because they run a variety of the system, not the same thing. If you're unfamiliar with it, usually the first shot is the best shot. As right here we see Bobby Johns taking a shot from deep. Rebound over to Vaughn. The Blue Jays will try to push as North Central, it's an offensive foul. The first on Hannah Lipman, first on the team, and that's also the first turnover for the Blue Jays, as here comes a whole new set of players for the Cardinals. You'll be seeing that a lot. Almost like line changes in hockey. They have so many players. That's Tess Godhart, for those of you Elmhurst fans who may be familiar with her. She transferred to North Central after playing a year at Elmhurst last year. Here's a 3 from Marissa Claudus, is good. 3-pointers are the best shots in this system. As you also see the press, waiting for the call from the rep, and it's North Central basketball. That's another turnover for the Blue Jays. North Central is going to try to force as many of those as they can. Let's break down that Grinnell system while we're here waiting. First shot is usually the best shot. If you have an open shot, you got to take it. Right there's first shot. In the lane, offensive foul called. That's Kimberly Wilson. That's her first. Team's first, and Elmhurst will inbound it. As you see, there's lots of press that's going to be happening all day. That's why for the main reason why North Central has all these line changes, is what they call them. Just like in hockey, because they do full court press. As you see, McMahon is wide open on the left side, but Swanson didn't see her, and now there's another turnover for the Cardinals. That's going to be an extremely important thing to watch out for. Turnovers, as that's exactly what North Central wants. They want to turn the ball over. They want to score as many points as possible. That's Godhard who stepped on the baseline. And so it'll be Blue Jay basketball. Here comes another new 5 for the Cardinals. This would be the starting 5 for the Cardinals, as Cooling, Johns, Beck, Zarante, and Williams check in. Full court press for the Cardinals. You'll see that all day. They would rather give up a contested layup than a shot clock violation, as they're trying to score basically as many points as possible. The first shot's the best shot. It's usually a three-pointer. That's a system that allowed Jack Taylor from Grinnell to score 138 points last year for little D3 college in Iowa. This is Cooling trying to look for Sterling. Couldn't get it there, and there Elmhurst will bring it up the floor quickly, looking for an easy layup. Vaughn tries to get the pass out to Sinet, wasn't there, got deflected, and Cooling's out running. Cooling to the left hand. Switches to a right hand, no good, short, rebound, goes to Katie Swanson. Swanson back up. That's Karen Sinet, and she traveled. So that's 3 turnovers already for the Blue Jays, and here comes another line change for the Cardinals. This is Beck to inbound it for the Cardinals. Beck gets it into Claudis. Claudis driving left side. No penetration, good defense by Claire Monroe. Swinging it across. Down low, it's Godhart trying to break down the bigger McMahon, no good. Rebound to Swanson, and then a foul as she lost the ball. Foul charge to Tess Godhart, that's her first, and the team's second. We're going to be playing a frantic pace this afternoon, so buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be, there's another inbound pass, but it's deflected by Kimberly Wilson. And Lippman will try again to get it in for the Blue Jays. You see all 5 in a full court press. They go to McMahon, which could be a really smart play. She's tall, you can throw it up high to her. It's a 2-on-1. Sinet will pull up, and she's good. The senior from Anchorage, Alaska, with her first bucket of the game and the first points for the Blue Jays. On the other end, Godhart shot is missed, and that's another foul. Looks like it could be on Godhart. It is. That's 2 on Tess Godhart, the former Elmhurst Blue Jay. As we look at that last play, Godhart missed the right-handed layup and then went a little too aggressively for the rebound and was called for her second foul. I assume they'll have to, North Central will have to check another 5 in, and here they come. They're going to check 4 in. Lots of pressure, always double team the ball if you're the Cardinals so they can get as many turnovers as possible. McMahon with the bunny hook off her pivot foot is good, and that's 2 for McMahon, and Elmhurst leads 4-2, but not for long, as Miranda Grizafi hits a 3, and that puts the Cardinals up 6-4. Really got to focus on breaking the press. If you break the press, there's easy layups on the other end, as we could see right here. And there's a foul. It looked like Katie Swanson was a little out of control, but North Central got in her way. Here's the rebound. That's Anita Sterling on the foul. That's her first, and the team's 4th. Katie Swanson will go to the line, shoot 2. As we said before, senior day for the Blue Jays. Right now, the only senior on the floor is Karen Sinet, as Swanson hits both. And North Central will push once again. Over to Sterling on the far side. For 3, no good. Rebound tipped around and then run down by Lippman. Lippman, little hand check there On number 5, that's Zagoda, Emily Zagoda, charged with her first team foul. As we look at it, looks like maybe a little hip check there, trying to force Lippman out of bounds. And the frantic pace will settle down for a second, but just for a second as Swanson gets into Lippman. Lippman on the far side, looking for somebody, double teamed. Swanson's there to help her out. There's Claire Monroe from the free throw line. Jumper for 2 is good. North Central shot fake. Got Claire Monroe in the air, and then she traveled on the way into the basket. It's number 32, Paula Zarante. As Elmhurst will sub, that's Kim Schwartman, another senior for the Blue Jays, coming in for Katie Swanson. Lippman inbounded, it's deflected off a couple players and eventually goes off Paula Zarate as North Central will bring in 5 more. That's Godhart, Cooling, Wilson, Williams, and 1 more Cardinal. North Central press, double teaming Schwartman. Pass up to Sinet, Sinet's open, and Claire Monroe dribbling to the right hand, way up off the glass, and it's good. Claire Monroe has the last 2 baskets for the Blue Jays, and they lead 10-6. Basket by Williams is good on the other end, and frantic pace continues. Here comes Karen Sinet, looking confident with her left hand. Lippman swings it back around to Monroe. Monroe inside to Sinet. Great look to Fiona McMahon, and Fiona McMahon give the assist to Sinet. Godhart at the top of the key, swings it over to Wilson. Wilson back up the top to Cooling. Cooling driving left hand, puts it up on the right hand, and there's a foul called as she missed the layup, but she'll go to the line for 2. That's Kelsey Cooling. Fiona McMahon's first personal foul as she reached on that play, and here comes Kelsey Cooling with 2 shots. Again, this frantic pace for North Central is nothing like we haven't seen before as we look at the replay. Dribbling with her left hand, going up with the right. Looked like McMahon may have gotten a little bit of the right hand, maybe expecting Cooling to go in with the left. Kelsey Cooling as North Central subs once again. Cooling will sub out after she takes this second free throw. Second free throw is no good. Looks like it was Svensson trying to get in for the rebound, and she got the steal. Svensson turnaround jumper is no good. That's number 21, Backman tried to save it and went out to Sinet. Sinet dribbling with the right hand. Looking in, Melanie Schwartman. Melanie Schwartman puts it up and it's short, but there's a foul. Melanie Schwartman. As we look, great pass from Sinet. Schwartman was going against her body there, and she got pushed. It's the 6th team foul on North Central. As we're only 5 minutes in, and North Central's already got 7 fouls. Schwartman will take her second free throw. And it's good. 13-8, Elmhurst leads as the frantic pace continues. This is Zagoda, Emily Zagoda, dribbling with her left hand, going into the corner. Passes it out for Beck. Beck over to Bakeman. Bakeman driving with the right hand is Zagoda, lays it up and it's good. Emily Zagoda with the right hand. Double teamed and stolen. No, it's a jump ball. The possession arrow favors North Central as we'll get another line change for the Cardinals. Here's the replay as it looks at, that was 31, Svensson, who got a hand in there to set the ball free. And then they both 2 players went for it, and we ended up with a jump ball. Bobby Johns, pass in. She double dribbled. That's another turnover for the Cardinals, and it'll be Blue Jay basketball leading 12-8 with 14:30 left to go in the first half. Here's Devin Vaughn. One of the seniors needs 2 assists as she brings it up the floor for become the all-time leader in assists. Here's Schwerman on the near side. Pass to Vaughn. Shot from the elbow is no good. Rebound is tipped out of bounds, and it will go to Elmhurst. That's Kim Schwertman into inbound. Pass to Melanie Schwertman. Kim dribbling to her right. No room to go. Pass it back out to Vaughn, and it's tipped. Running all the way up the floor is Cooling. She lays it in with the left hand as Elmhurst will try to attack the other way. That's Kim Schwertman with the foul and 1. There's that play as Godhart tried to take the charge. It was a very close charge block foul, and they're going to give it to Godhart, and that is her 3rd. 6 minutes into the game, Tess Godhart in her Elmhurst return has 3 fouls. Kim Schwerman finishes the 3-point play. She's got 3. And the Blue Jays lead 16-12. On the near side, that's Claudis looking inside. Shot is short from Svensson. Ball is tipped and out of bounds. Stays with the Blue Jays as North Central will continue to press. Actually went off of Grizafi. Grizafi got a hand on it as it was going out of bounds, and that's why it stays with the Blue Jays. There's inbounds pass is tipped. Quick pass from Sinet. Great play against this press to get the passes out quickly. Swanson looked like Claudis reached, but no foul called, and the Blue Jays. And there's a bad pass for Monroe. It's picked off by Svensson as players collide. Sinet is not happy, but she'll be charged with the foul. That's 3 team fouls on the Blue Jays, and that's first. North Central will inbound under the basket. Another foul called. Looks like Karen Sinet was holding. There's a 3, and it's good. That's Kimberly Wilson. Looked like she was leaning to her left, but she got it to go as Swanson is trapped. And she traveled. Another turnover for the Blue Jays as here comes another North Central line change. 5 new players in for North Central. 1 Elmhurst player, Schwertman, will check out. McMahon back in the game for the Blue Jays. Marion Beck will inbound. There's a change of pace as Kim Schwertman for the Blue Jays got a hand on the inbounds pass, putting some pressure on the inbounds. And Beck will try once again. Beck looking around, gets it to Bobby Johns. Bobby Johns dribbling with her right hand in towards the middle. Looked like the crowd wanted to carry, didn't give it to her. This is number 24, Beck for 3, no. Rebound, Schwertman. That's Kim Schwertman. Schwertman up to Swanson. Swanson dribbling around. Needs to get the ball off, pass to McMahon. McMahon looked for Sinet, but it wasn't open. McMahon back out to Schwertman. Schwertman down to Swanson. Swanson pulls up, no good. Wide to the right, and rebound goes to Beck. Beck up to Johns. Johns out to Zagoda, who puts up a 3 just to the left. Rebound, McMahon. McMahon trying to dribble, then realizes he thinks better of it. Throws a wild pass to Claire Monroe that eventually gets tipped out of bounds by Emily Zagoda of the Cardinals. We'll take a breather as a timeout will be called. There's that last play as Zagoda tried to save it. It may have actually gone out on Sinet there. We'll see when they inbound. In case you're not used to this frantic pace, it's a new thing. It's not so new for North Central. but it may be new to some of you fans out there. Basically, they're trying to get as many points as possible by making as many possessions as possible, thereby wearing out their opponents and winning the game eventually. But on defense, giving up an uncontested layup may be better than a shot clock violation. You always double team the person with the ball on defense. So as you'll see all day, whether it's in the front court or the back court, the Blue Jays are going to be double teamed regardless, and the ball did indeed go out on Zagoda, and it'll be Blue Jay basketball. Offensive rebounds, all four players who did not take the shot go in for the offensive rebound. So you'll see that. They'll get a lot. They lead the CCIW in offensive rebounds, and they might be partially because of the system. Here's McMahon holding. Stepped over the line, but didn't step fully, and there's a great pass from Sinet. Sinet's pass went to Courtney Spencer, and that's 2 for her. As a wild shot is put up by Anne-Marie Beckman, and it is out of bounds, air ball, and given back for the Blue Jays. Spencer will inbound. The Blue Jays will probably have to go just as deep as the Cardinal, if not a little bit less, so that because of this frantic pace. Claire Monroe gets blocked. That's Anita Sterling with the block. Back on the other side is Spencer. Spencer double team, give it up to Sinet. Sinet, great passing by the Blue Jays. Here's Monroe for 3, and it's good. Claire Monroe has 7 as the North Central comes right back up the other end. That's Marissa Claudis. The crowd didn't like the foul, but that would be 2 shots for the North Central guard. Here we'll look at the replay. I guess they're going to call that on Fiona McMahon. That's her 2nd. The team's 5th. And 5 more players will come in from North Central. Let's look at the last play. The 3 from Monroe with some great touch passes from the Blue Jays. That's really, if they're going to be successful in this game, that's how they're going to have to score. They're going to have to, because that North Central double team gets on you extremely quick. You think you have one person on you, and then and they call it jump ball as McMahon looked like she was going to rip the ball away from Laren Shoemaker, who is playing in this game. Shoemaker, I was told before the game, would not play, but she is indeed in the game, playing for the Cardinals. Quick pass from Sinet. Great pass from McMahon for Swanson. Swanson gives it off to Littman. Littman, wild right-handed layup is no good. And the rebound goes to Marissa Grisaffi, who hands it off to Emily Zagoda. That's Wilson, gets Gotthard for 3. She has 3 fouls. There's another foul. This one's going to go on the Blue Jays. That's Hannah Littman's 2nd. As you look at Gotthard's 3 that just missed, and then look like Littman grabbed one of the North Central players who's going for the rebound. Gotthard on the far side. Gotthard dribbling, looking for Wilson. Wilson over to Zagoda. Zagoda back to Gotthard. Gotthard dribbling right. North Central looking for their first shot opportunity this possession with 13 on the clock. Gotthard's spinning jumper is no good. And here's Hannah Littman with Sinet wide open. And here comes Courtney Spencer, puts up a 15-footer, no good. Rebound to Zagoda. Swanson trailing her, gets the steal. Katie Swanson with a great hustle. And Fiona McMahon is wide open on the far side. Put layup up and good. Fiona McMahon has 6 today as the Blue Jays lead 23-16. Gotthard at the top of the key, gives it off to Wilson. Wilson looking down low to Shoemaker. Bunny hook is no good. Rebound to Swanson, who gets it quickly out to Sinet, and Sinet will slow down to catch her breath for a second. But immediately as he slows down, the North Central double team comes. Pass to McMahon, pass back out to Spencer, and Spencer will grab the offensive rebound, and it's a jump ball. Fans not happy about that as Spencer seemed to have possession, but they gave a jump ball, and that'll go to North Central as we look at the last play. Spencer's 3 was short. She ran in, got her own rebound. Looked like she had her ball, but the North Central player did have 2 hands on it, so I think that's the correct call. Bobby Johns. This is Cooling at the top of the key, through her legs, dribbling left. Left-handed layup is good. Kelsey Cooling. As Spencer will try to get it in against this press. Great cut by Lippman, but now she's double teamed. Needs some help, and she's fouled. Nope, actually it's a timeout taken by Elmhurst. That'll be a quick 30-second timeout. As we look at the stats thus far, North Central's leading scorer is Claudius. She's got 4. 2 players, Wilson and Grizafi, have 3. Cooling, also with 4. For the Blue Jays, it's Claire Monroe who has 7. Fiona McMahon has 6. Katie Swanson with 2 free throws. Karen Sinette's got 2. Kim Schwartman's got 3. Melanie Schwartman has 1. Courtney Spencer has just the 2. Fiona McMahon, 3 of 4. Most of her shots easy layups from the inside, as we've been accustomed to see here from the Blue Jays. Hannah Lippman in the backcourt. Lippman telling for Sinette to move to her left, gets it to her. Now it's Swanson. Swanson looking for Schwartman. Schwartman, turnaround layup is no good. Offensive rebound to Katie Swanson, but it hit the sideline before she could get there, and so it'll be out on North Central. North Central fans don't like the call, but it'll stay with the Blue Jays. Hannah Lippman to inbound it. Looking for Schwartman. Schwartman's not there. Looking for Sinette. Sinette is there at the top of the key. Stolen by Zarante, and that's Cooling. Left-handed layup is good. Karen Sinette needs to get rid of the ball quickly, gives it to Lippman. Lippman also needs to get rid of it. Double teamed, gives it off to Swanson, just off the hands of Bobby Johns. It's Schwartman down low, left-handed layup is good. Melanie Schwartman, she's got 3. Comes Bobby Johns. Shot from Marion Beck is short. And the rebound goes to Claire Monroe, who will shoot the pass back up to Schwartman, who is quickly surrounded by North Central players. Sinette had some time, give it to Lippman. Lippman looking for Swanson. The pass is deflected. And then it went off of North Central, and it'll be Blue Jay basketball right here on the near side to the left. We'll look at that last play off the hands of Cooling and then ripped away. That was Schwartman and one other North Central player, I believe is Hernandez, fighting for it. Swanson gets it in the backcourt. Here's Claire Monroe. Over to Sinette. Sinette skip pass to Swanson. Back over to Monroe. Monroe leaning into the shot. No good. Offensive rebound, Melanie Schwartman, but couldn't put it in. And the rebound goes to number 35 for the Cardinals, Sterling. As on the other end already, we've got Claudius going back up. She'll be fouled by Lippman. That's Lippman's 3rd if it's on her. No, it'd be charged to Melanie Schwartman, and that's her 1st. As we look at Claudius's drive, Schwartman was the one who took a swipe at Claudius's hands as she went into the lane. First shot from Claudius is good. As Elmhurst leads 25-21 with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. Claudius's second free throw is up and good. And here comes the North Central press once again, steadfast as it always is. Monroe, great pass to Schwartman. Schwartman looking for Vaughn. There's Vaughn. Dribbling on the far side, that's Sinette. Sinette into Schwartman. Near side, Lippman driving baseline. Tried to get to Schwartman. It eventually got there off a couple North Central hands, and then Schwartman had to get it back out after a shot was blocked. Shot for Lippman hit the bottom of the rim. Elmhurst fans looking for a foul, but will not get it. This is Sterling at the top of the key. Gets it down to Williams. Williams puts it up, and she is fouled. They're going to charge it to Melanie Schwartman again. That's 2 fouls on Schwertman as we look at the last replay. Schwertman tried to get her hand in her face, may have gotten the right hand on the way up. And here comes Uzuri Williams, a junior forward from Champaign, Illinois. First free throw is nothing but net. And North Central will bring on 5 new bodies. It's Godhart, Zagoda, Johns, Bachman, and one more set to check in after Williams' second free throw. It's short. Ball goes off the hands of a couple players. And the foul is called on number 21, Bachman. As we look at the last play, Bachman looked like she bumped Vaughn as they were trying to go for the rebound. And Devin Vaughn will go to the free throw line as that's North Central's 8th foul. Devin Vaughn, a senior. 1-1, first one is good. She is 2 assists away from breaking the career Elmhurst mark. She does not have an assist yet tonight, as she will take her second free throw here. Second free throw is good, rattles in. She's playing in her 100th career game this afternoon. Congrats to Devin Vaughn. Godhart will spot up for 3. No good. Rebound, McMahon amongst about 3 North Central Cardinals. Here comes Littman, pass up to Monroe. They got a 3-on-2 if they can use it, but good defense by Johns as she deflects it out of bounds, and North Central was able to get back and forego an uncontested layup. Lots of time on the shot clock for the Blue Jays as Littman gets into McMahon. McMahon swings to Sinet. Vaughn looks back for McMahon on the backdoor cut, but it wasn't there. Here's Claire Monroe for 3, little long. McMahon and Erica Buck fighting for the rebound, and Buck wins it and will take it up the floor before giving it off to Johns. Johns over to Godhart, a little too deep to take the 3. Bachman, Zagoda. Zagoda wants to pull up, but does not. Godhart looking around, giving it to Bachman. Bachman back over to Johns. Johns to Zagoda. They only have 4 on the shot clock. They got to throw up something. 2-1, and that's a shot clock violation. You certainly won't see that very often, and the crowd knows it as they are extremely pleased with the Elmhurst defense on that last possession. In this North Central offense, they hardly ever have shot clock violations. That was just a very well-defended possession by the Blue Jays, and the crowd was extremely appreciative. Monroe back to Vaughn. Vaughn looking confident, gives it to Littman. Littman turns to Sinet. Sinet looking for McMahon, gives it off to McMahon. McMahon pounding herself in down low and gets it for 2. Fiona McMahon has 8. And North Central will push back up the floor. That's Claudis. Off of her foot, says the referee, and that's going to go back to the Blue Jays. Devin Vaughn. Here's Sinet. Sinet up to Monroe. Monroe's going to run with it. She had Zarante trailing and was lucky to look back before Zarante took it away. Great pass from Littman to Monroe. Monroe looking into McMahon, but that offensive foul. That is going to be Fiona McMahon's 3rd foul. Actually, that's her 2nd. As she was charging in for the layup, but lowered her shoulder, and that was a little too much for the referee as she gave the ball back to North Central. This is Claudis going up with the right hand. 6 for Claudis. Elmhurst breaks the press. Giving it off. Here's Littman at the top of the key. Giving it to Sinet. Sinet wants to take the 3, but instead dribbles in. Gives it to McMahon, who takes it off the glass. No good. And there's a foul. And the Elmhurst fans sarcastically clap. Kelsey Cooling with her first foul as she went over the back on Devin Vaughn. Let's look at that last play. McMahon shot a little long off the glass, and Cooling went over the back on Vaughn.
Elmhurst for North Central. Godhart, Wilson.
5:47 to go. Vaughn with 9 fouls will shoot 1 and 1 once again. Devin Vaughn, no good. One of the better free throw shooters on the Blue Jays, shooting 82% for the season, but couldn't get that one to go. Swing pass. That's Sterling driving in. Looks like we're gonna have another foul. That'll be 2 shots for Sterling. First personal on Devin Vaughn as she returns the favor for a foul earlier. It was 2 shots as there was not good on the continuation. 1 shot as she missed the first. Sterling shot is up and good. Nothing but net, and Vaughn will inbound. No resting for the Blue Jays as the North Central press continues to haunt them, although they've done much better than the first 5 minutes. But there's a steal by Godhart, and up the floor comes Bobby Johns. Bobby Johns gives it off. That's Grizzoffi, who missed a 3, and then there's a tie-up. Katie Swanson looked straight at the ref as she was fighting for the ball with Sterling. I gave a little look to the ref. I think it's time to call a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Blue Jays. Devin Vaughn will once again inbound it as Schwartman sets a screen to keep Monroe open. There's Vaughn. Vaughn gives it off to Sinet. Sinet, quick pass. That's Swanson driving to the right side. Gets it off the bottom of the backboard, but Claire Monroe ends up with a rebound. Sinet can't stand still for too long as here comes a double team. Swanson to Vaughn. Vaughn out to Sinet. Sinet for 3. No good. Rebound to Katie Swanson, who got it amongst players that were taller than her, but then she traveled. In comes another fresh 5 for North Central. The frantic pace definitely taking a little bit of a toll on the Blue Jays 15 minutes into the half. Sophia Svensson gives it up. There's Svensson down low, looking for the easy layup. Schwartman got over and defended well, but the rebound ends up in Zarante's hands, and then the miss goes back to Lauren Shoemaker. Lauren Shoemaker with an easy 2. This is Karen Sinet, gives it off to Schwartman. Unselfish pass, but Schwartman kind of backed away from the shot and couldn't get it to go. Claudis looking down low, Shoemaker, but she traveled. Picked up her pivot foot, and we'll have a sub for the Blue Jays as McMahon will replace Schwartman. Well, look at that last play. Looks like she took it 1 too many steps. Kim Schwartman into the game for Devin Vaughn, who is still looking for an assist. She needs 2 to break the Elmhurst College all-time record. Pass to Sinet. Sinet looking up. There's a 2-on-1 here. Instead of driving, that's Whitney Schaefer, Claire Monroe, who pulled up for 2 instead of going for the layup. And number 22, Claudis, looking for 3, no good. Rebound to Kim Schwartman, and Schwartman's got a 1-on-1. She tried to take the charge, and she did. Marissa Claudis got position on Kim Schwartman, and Schwartman has her first foul as we'll look at the replay once again. Outside of the restricted area. Got her feet down, and the referee gave it to her. And head coach Stephanie Carrillo going to talk over to Schwartman, who probably got to make her move a little earlier before you allow Claudis to get set. This is Kimberly Wilson looking down low for Williams. Williams goes up, but it's no good. McMahon had the rebound, but had it knocked away, and it'll be a North Central foul. Waiting on the foul call. North Central charged to number 20, Bobby Johns. As we look at the last play, McMahon gave her a little bump, not enough to call a foul, but then Johns went in and kind of whacked the hand of Fiona McMahon, and it'll be McMahon to go to the line to shoot 2. McMahon, a 79% free throw shooter on the year. McMahon's first free throw is up and good. McMahon, a junior, averaging 14 points per game in conference play. Second free throw is good. That's 10 points, double digits for Fiona McMahon in the first half. That's a shot that's Claudis. Excuse me, that's not Claudis. That is Grizafi for 3. And all of a sudden, the game is tied at 31. There's a turnover made by number 15, Tiara Fitzpatrick. Tess Godhard had the layup, lost it, and then got it back out. Here's Godhard with the ball back again, dribbling to her left, pulls up from the elbow, no good. Got her own rebound, blocked by McMahon. McMahon was not going to allow the former Elmhurst College player to get back into the lane for a third attempt. It's Katie Swanson off to Tiara Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has not seen a lot of minutes during this season, but she's getting some minutes here with this frantic pace. Elmhurst needs to go deep in their bench, and that's McMahon. Fiona has 12 for the Blue Jays. Great pass off to Williams. Give Johns the assist. And North Central the refs will stop the clock so North Central can change. So you look at the last play, Bobby Johns drives into the lane, great one-handed pass off to Williams, who got it in over the taller Fiona McMahon. McMahon holding the ball high, getting away from the steal. It's number 30, Spencer, gives it off to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, up at the top at Swanson, back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick looking for an open player, that's Spencer. That's Fitzpatrick. 5-footer is no good. Looks like one North Central player got hit in the face by Fitzpatrick. That was Claudis, but no foul. Claudis spinning, looking okay there. She goes hard, but that'll be a foul. She was a little out of control, and that's what Elmhurst fans are a little upset about as we look at the replay. She was spinning around. She looked to be falling down, but maybe they had a foot. Tiara Fitzpatrick may have had a foot in there. She'll be charged with a foul. Here's Claudis. First free throw is good. Devin Vaughn, the senior, back in as McMahon sits, and Elmhurst is going to go small here. With Fitzpatrick, the tallest player on the floor. She's 5'9", and she's a freshman from St. Louis, Missouri. Has not, like I said, has not seen a lot of time this season, but with this frantic pace, everybody's going to need a breather. Here goes Courtney Spencer. 2-on-1 with Swanson. Gives it off to Swanson. Back to Spencer. Layup is good. Great passing by the Blue Jays. And North Central will come back up the floor. Pass a little wild for Svensson, but she got her own rebound. Oh, and she hit the ground. He hit the floor hard. Svensson is on the ground right now as she hit the floor really hard. You could hear it all the way from up here. As we look at the last play, Svensson, shot was a little short. She got the ball back, then put it back up, got tied up with Devin Vaughn, and that was where the foul was. And she'll take, that's Vaughn's second foul. And Svensson will be at the line to shoot 2. Let's look back at the passing from Elmhurst. We had Spencer, gave it off to Swanson, waited till the last second, right back to Spencer, and that was an easy lay-in. Great teamwork there from the Blue Jays, unselfishness from Katie Swanson. Shot is off the back of the iron and good as Svensson will take a seat. Williams as a part of the line change for North Central. Devin Vaughn looked like she got hit, but no foul called as North Central came up with a loose ball. That was Wilson with the shot, and then Sterling, with the rebound. And Sterling was fouled going back up. And that's Melanie Schwartman's second. Excuse me, Kim Schwartman's second. And here comes Sterling. Sterling's first free throw is short. Melanie Schwartman back in, replacing Courtney Spencer. Second free throw from Sterling is good. And Vaughn will be charged with the task of getting the ball in. Sinet double team, gives it off to Swanson. Swanson before she can double team, and now there's a 2-on-1. Pass to Schwartman, give the assist to Kim Schwartman. Schwartman to Schwartman, and Melanie Schwartman will shoot one. Kim Schwartman, beautiful bounce pass to Melanie, who got fouled. That was number 35, Anita Sterling. That's her second. Melanie Schwartman with 1:20 left in the ball game. Free throw is off the back iron, and North Central will take the ball up with a 1-point lead. Tied up. That's going to be called a jump ball, a tie up. Devin Vaughn. Jump ball possession will go to North Central. And North Central will sub once again, 5 new bodies. That's number 22, Marissa Claudis, ready to inbound the ball on the offensive end for the Cardinals. Coach Stephanie Carrillo checking something with the referee. Everything seems to be in order, and Claudis will be able to inbound. Here's Tess Godhart at the top of the key. Gives it off, back to Claudis. Claudis dribbling to with her left hand. That's a shot by number 32, Zarante is no good. Zarante gets her own offensive rebound and lays it up and in. Zarante with the great hustle. And here comes a 3-on-1 for the Blue Jays. Godhart all alone. Ends up being a 2-on-1 as Sinet. Great pass to Katie Swanson, who laid it up and in. Schwartman with the steal. 36 seconds left in the first half. North Central leads by 1. Schwartman picks up her dribble, gives it off to Swanson. Schwartman pass out the way to, that's Karen Sinet. And there's Schwartman with the shot is no good, and North Central can hold for the last shot, but probably will not. And now Elmhurst may try to hold for the last shot, although it'll be quite tough against this North Central pressure. Vaughn, layup is good. Devin Vaughn, the senior, with 4, with 3. Claudis with 2. Shot is off the mark. And Elmhurst will go into the locker room with a 1-point lead, 41-40. There's a great outlet pass from Sinet to Devin Vaughn that ended the half on a good note for the Blue Jays. We'll give you some quick stats here. Fiona McMahon, the leading scorer, with 12. Claire Monroe has 7 for the Blue Jays. Melanie Schwartman has 5, and a bunch of players, Vaughn, Sinet, and Courtney Spencer tied with 4. For North Central, 10 for Marissa Claudis, 6 for Cooling, and 5 for Zuri Williams. 3-point percentage, 25% for the Blue Jays, 22 for the Cardinals. That'll be a stat to watch out for in the second half. That's the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. The score, Elmhurst 41, North Central 40. We'll be back with the second half of action. This is Luke Tanaka, and you're watching BlueJayTV.com.
College only happens once. You need to know what you're getting into. That's why we made this video. We wanted to give you an idea of what you might choose to get into at Elmhurst College. We went around the campus with a camera for a full school year and asked people what they thought about the place. We didn't plant anybody and we didn't script anything. We just asked questions. We started at new student orientation.
I chose Elmhurst because the campus is really nice, first off. I like it a lot, and it's really close to Chicago. I like Chicago.
The reason why I chose to come here is the smart classes and the atmosphere. The people here are friendly, and I just love it.
Nicest campus I've seen anywhere. Like, I visited a lot of other schools, but, I mean, this one just had, like, all the trees. They had the atmosphere.
All the people I've met have been really, really friendly.
It's a beautiful campus.
It's a beautiful campus. Lots of plants, lots of friendly people. And they're just so helpful. Like, everyone wants to help you out to get to where you need to be.
Come on in, everybody. It's good to have you here.
It's just going to be a fun year all together. Meet lots of people, hang out, go downtown a lot.
Now it's time to kick off the school year. That means going to class. You've been doing that for years already, but classes at Elmhurst are a little different.
If you've never experienced something, you can definitely get into it and experience it here at Elmhurst.
It's an open environment. Anywhere you go, you're going to get that opportunity just to better yourself. When you're in the large universities, you don't get that opportunity because you're just another student and they're just talking in front of you.
The class size is smaller, so you're not in a class of about like 600 people.
I know all of my professors by name, and what's better is they know me by name.
You can go to them and feel comfortable dropping them an email, stopping by their office during office hours and asking for help.
Every morning I wake up and I'm excited to see my students again. I love hearing them and their stories and getting to know them.
The opportunity to interact with faculty in a real meaningful way, whether it's in collaborative research, whether it's one-on-one, talking about aspects of the class in their offices, the availability, all those things are there.
Learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, but outside the classroom.
The lecturing style has sort of gone out of fashion. You do present some material, but you try for the students to discover the answers rather than providing them to the student.
It's a process, and we create that process every time, every class.
In business, they're not looking for people that have more accounting or more marketing. They're looking for people with what we consider the liberal learning skills.
You're going to be able to combine professional interests with a liberal arts education.
Elmhurst College is preparing me for my life experience later on after college, and it's a great environment to grow.
Elmhurst College gave me a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate the world at large, and then begin to say, okay, I could kind of see myself doing this.
Of course, all work and no play is no way to go through college. That's why we have special weekends like homecoming. Football is one of 18 varsity sports at Elmhurst. It's not the Big Ten. In a lot of ways, it's better.
But what separated Elmhurst College from every other institution that was looking to recruit me as a football player is Elmhurst College was more interested in me being a student athlete.
Knowing that I would be running cross country and track all 4 years, I think it's really helped me structure my educational career as well.
Being a student athlete takes up a lot of time, but it's a commitment that you really want to make.
What commitment do you want to make? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
There's over 100 different clubs and organizations on campus.
Elmhurst has something for everyone, there really is. I mean, whatever your interest is, it's here.
I've been involved in the music department, in the band, and now the orchestra. Intramural sports, or art, or music, or drama.
They have the Greek system here, and I really wanted to get involved.
Joining a fraternity, playing on the men's soccer team for 4 years.
You have so many opportunities to get your hands on things. You know, I was involved in union board and volleyball.
There's just a huge array that you can choose from.
You can definitely make a difference, definitely.
You can also make a difference far beyond the campus. Our study abroad program gives you a chance to experience the world. Elmhurst students study in 44 countries.
The first January I was here, I studied in France, and the second January I studied in India.
Back home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of going to college in Elmhurst, Illinois, a special suburb of a great city.
Downtown Elmhurst is walking distance, and there's so many things going on. We have movie theaters, restaurants, there's shopping.
The train station's right within walking distance, and you can always go to downtown Chicago.
About half-hour metro ride away. And so a lot of my friends will go downtown every few weekends and see what's down there. There's a lot of class trips that go downtown.
I like to go into the city. I enjoy spending time there. It's something totally new and different for me.
One reason you're going to college is to prepare for a life of professional achievement. We'll help you to get the hands-on experience you need to really know your stuff.
If you're looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, they have so many connections to help you.
They want to help you junior and senior year to be able to get those internships and get those job opportunities.
It gives you an automatic network of people.
I work for WGN. I am a sports news intern.
I'm currently interning at Victory Records, which is downtown Chicago.
I'm a sales planning intern with the Kellogg Company.
I'm interning at Paramount Public Relations.
I'm currently interning with the Chicago Bears.
There's a lot of teamwork involved in my internship, so you really learn how to work with other people.
It's very hands-on.
Just being able to work with their players, like the guys you see on TV on Sunday, and just kind of finding out that there's regular guys like everyone else. It's really been cool.
You're in a small school and then you have this opportunity in a big city, and I've met artists, been to concerts, and it's awesome.
Our job is to help students learn how to navigate and manage their own career when they graduate.
So that's Elmhurst College in about 7 minutes. We'll leave you with a few final thoughts from our students and faculty.
Those people who decide to come here simply say that there was a feeling about the campus. They said there's just something, they sense something more, like hey, I belong here.
Coming in here and making the connections with the people that I have, I know that even when I graduate, I'm still going to have these connections. I'm still going to have a home here even, 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure there's other good schools out there too, but I think you'd have a hard time beating Elmhurst.
Your experience is going to really be what college ought to be.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important
than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence, community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of this women's basketball game between Elmhurst College and North Central College. And this is a extremely important second half for both teams, as this game could very well decide the fate of these two teams, whether they go to the CCAW tournament. Elmhurst with a win will be in great position to make the tournament, as all they will need is a Milliken loss to Carthage later tonight. North Central needs to win to stay in, and they need some help as well. They need North Park and Milliken to lose as well, so that there's a giant tie at 5-9. In this very important game so far, only one North Central player has played over 10 minutes, and that's just a product of the system. As you'll see, if you haven't watched so far, you'll see right now as North Central likes to rotate 5 players in at a time. Blue Jays, 5 players that have played more minutes. So here we go, start of the second half. Full court press is the huge for North Central. Always double teaming the basketball, as you see right here with Littman. Littman's got the ball, looking off to Swanson. Swanson looked for Devin Vaughn, who had the open cut to the lane but did not take it, and that'll be another Elmhurst turnover. 41-40 the score for the Blue Jays. Early in the second half right here. There's a great drive by Bobby Johns, but the layup by Williams is no good. And the rebound will go out to Elmhurst, and now they're out and running. Hannah Littman will decide to pass out to Swanson instead. A 3-on-2 in the lane. Fiona McMahon wanted the basket but is fouled as she left it just short. She'll shoot 2. Fiona McMahon, second team all-conference last year, part of a sports family in general. Her father played Gaelic football, which is pretty much a mix of basketball, rugby, and soccer. And then her older brother Brian played soccer here at Elmhurst College as Fiona misses the first free throw. She's 79% on the year, part of a sports family. Johns dribbling back out to the top of the key to the free throw line. This is Cooling, driving left, spinning, giving it back out. This is Marion Beck. The 3 is no good, and it's Karen Sinnett. She's in trouble. She needs some help, and there's Katie Swanson to help her out. Fiona McMahon has the ball, decides not to dribble with it, and passes up to Vaughn. Vaughn, pull up from the baseline is good. Devin Vaughn. She's got 6 for the Blue Jays. Drive in the lane by Beck, and it's good, and here comes 5 new players for the Cardinals. It'll be Svensson, Wilson, Grazafi, Godhart, and Claudis, the new 5 for North Central. McMahon holds there, gets it over the line, and then gives off to Littman. Littman, great pass to Swanson. Swanson over to Sinnett, and 1. That's how you break the press, right there. Elmhurst just gave a clinic on how to break the North Central press. Quick touch pass, said we're gonna look at it again. Littman to Swanson, to Sinnett, and 1. Just great passing all around. I'm sure head coach Tethna Carrillo was talking to her team about that, as they really struggled out of the gates with turnovers, turning it over on 3 of their first 4 possessions, but then it's only gotten better with time. As this frantic pace, it's really hard to prepare for it. Karen Sinnett, senior from Anchorage, Alaska, playing on senior day, knocks in the free throw. Here comes North Central, and that's Claudis. Over to Godhart. Over to Grazafi. Wilson down low. Deflection by McMahon. On the floor, and there'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Cardinals. Elmhurst has played way better defense thus far in this game. Really struggled in the beginning, but then came right back. And really, they had Elmhurst even forced North Central into a shot clock violation, which is nearly unheard of in the type of offense they run. This is Grazafi giving off to Wilson. Excuse me, yeah, that's Wilson. 2 on the shot clock, and that's a great drive by Marissa Claudis. Marissa Claudis as the shot clock expires. Karen Sinnett wants to pull up, but does not. A little frustrated with herself as she had the open shot. There's a steal. Steal by Grazafi, and she still got it somehow, and then there's another jump ball, and possession arrow favors Elmhurst. Elmhurst leads by 3 with 17 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Remember how important this game is. Both teams must win to stay in contention in the CCIW tournament. Seems to be a bit of confusion here. We'll see if we can get it figured out. Like I said before, senior day for Elmhurst. Kim Schwertman, Karen Sinnett, and Devin Vaughn playing big roles in this game. Vaughn's got 6 points, Schwertman's got 3, and Sinnett's got 2 with a lot of great assists as she's been looking to pass today. Here's Sinnett right here. Fiona McMahon setting a screen. Skip pass for Swanson. Shot is a little long. That's out of bounds. That's going to go to Elmhurst as it looked like it went off of number 33, Williams. Hannah Littman. High pass to McMahon. Smart inbounds play against this North Central defense. Sinnett being backed down by Cooling. Hannah Littman skip pass back to Sinnett. Sinnett looking for Swanson. Swanson dribble to McMahon. Nice bounce pass to McMahon. And it looks like there's a foul on the floor as well. That's number 20, Bobby Johns. That's her third. And Elmhurst will get the basket and the ball. Sinet looks into McMahon. McMahon, one dribble, lays it up, no good. Rebound though, Katie Swanson. Another possession for the Blue Jays. Swanson looking, gets it to Vaughn. Vaughn looking for McMahon, can't get it there. And the shot is good from Sinet. Karen Sinet for three. And the Blue Jays have broken it open to an 8-point lead. Trying to answer, this is Sterling, but it's way short. And it bounced on the baseline, Elmhurst basketball. Look at that shot from Sterling. It did not actually, bounce on the baseline, but Williams took off from the baseline, and they called it out of bounds, and Elmhurst will be pressured right here as they look to get it in. Sinet in a tough position, but quick pass to Swanson to get out of it. There's Vaughn, and there's Littman on the far side. Littman back to Vaughn to the near side, and Sinet. Sinet for Swanson. Swanson dribbling to her right. Sinet looking for an open player. Swanson has a shot, doesn't take it. There's Vaughn. Here's Sinet for three once again. No shot, no shot. The shot was good, but there's an offensive foul called. Or that's a 3-second violation on Hannah Littman. And that hurt the Blue Jays, as that would have made a double-digit lead. Great possession, faulted by the... There's a push-off. That's an offensive foul. Marion Beck just drove her right arm right into the midsection of Devin Vaughn, as we'll look at on the replay, and she just... Vaughn may have sold it a little bit, but she really pushed Vaughn down to the floor. That's 2 fouls on Marion Beck. Pass up to McMahon. McMahon will dribble. She's got Littman, but McMahon's going to take it all the way. Lay it up. It's no good. Rebound to Beck. Beck is going to push it. Gives it off to Claudis. Claudis. Skip pass over to Wilson, who fumbled it for a second, but got it back to Beck. The three is no good from Grizafi. Scrum for the ball, and still waiting for a signal. It's going to be Elmhurst basketball. As we look at that last replay, Vaughn and Beck were fighting for the loose ball. Went off of Beck's right hand. And it's Blue Jay basketball as Sinet gets double teamed, gives it off to Littman. Littman breaks the press to Vaughn. Vaughn, great pass to Swanson. Swanson had McMahon, but couldn't find her. Littman skip pass to Sinet. Sinet will drive another three, and it's good. Karen Sinet, the senior, with 2 straight threes. She's got 8, and the Elmhurst lead is 11. Elmhurst playing some great defense in the second half, limiting North Central to just 4 points in the first 4.5 minutes. There's a hand check foul. It's going to be on Devin Vaughn. That's 3 for her. Something to watch out for is McMahon and Vaughn both have 3 personal fouls. But head coach Stephanie Carrillo will stick with both of them on the floor right now as we look at the last play. A good screen, and Vaughn reached in with her left hand trying to poke the ball away, and that's what was called for the foul. And there's an offensive foul. A moving screen on number 23, Deja Moore. That's her first and the 5th team foul already. McMahon pass up 2-on-1. Swanson with Monroe. Swanson's pass was down at Monroe's knees. She couldn't come up with it, and it's a turnover. North Central now is a 4-on-3. They look to get it inside to Beck. Back outside for Sterling. Sterling puts up a 3. It's no good. Offensive rebound and putback by Bobby Johns is good. Fiona McMahon keeping the ball high, gives it off to Monroe. Swanson and Sinet all alone. Swanson puts up a lay-in, and it's no good. The rebound back to North Central as Johns runs it up the floor. Johns spinning, runs into McMahon. Looked like she ran into a brick wall. And it's no foul as McMahon had her hands up, but it'll be North Central basketball as the ball went off of McMahon as we watched that last play. McMahon got there in time. She was inside the restricted area, but Johns looked a little out of control, and so they just let it be. And that'll be a 30-second timeout to Elmhurst. And they are really lucky that McMahon didn't get called for that foul. That would have been her 4th. And that would be an extremely huge point in this game, as McMahon is one of the leading scorers in the conference with 14 per game. She's also the 2nd leading rebounder in the conference with 9. As we said before, she's a part of an athletic family. Her father and grandfather played Gaelic football, which is an Irish game and basically a mix of basketball, soccer, and rugby. So they got the basketball skills have transferred over to his daughter Fiona, and the soccer skills transferred over to his son and Fiona's older brother Brian McMahon, who played soccer here at Elmhurst College. Back now with the action. Here we go. It's Claudis inbounding to Cooling. Kelsey Cooling dribbling with her stronger left hand. Then back to Claudis, but it got taken away. Schwertman bent down to grab it. And Katie Swanson will be the one to get it over half court with a pass to Vaughn. Great bounce pass from Sinet with a fist pump as Melanie Schwertman gets one to go. Melanie Schwertman now has 7. Marissa Claudis dribbling. Gives it off to Cooling. Cooling with her stronger left hand. Gives it off to Williams, who spins and lays it up and in, leaning back, defended by Schwertman. But the defense wasn't enough as Williams got the easy 2. Vaughn, Schwertman, and here's Swanson. Sinet dribbling around, looking for an open player, gives it to Swanson. Vaughn has an open layup, and it's good. Devin Vaughn. 4 of her 8 points have come in the second half. Tess Gotthard open for 3, and it is no good. Rebound to Melanie Schwertman, who's looking for somebody to give it off to. Bounced it off the baseline, and it'll be North Central basketball as they bring on 5 new players. You can call this almost a 3rd line for North Central. Zagoda, Svensson, Beck, Shoemaker, and there's a foul. Looks like it might be on Vaughn. That would be her 4th. Let's see what the call is. No, it's going to be on Sinet as she got tied up with Kimberly Wilson. That's Sinet's 3rd, and Elmhurst is getting in some serious foul trouble here. 3 starters, McMahon, Vaughn, and Sinet all have 3 as Wilson hits the first free throw. Wilson's second free throw is off the front and the back iron, but goes in. Devin Vaughn bouncing around looking for an open target. She's got it in Schwertman. Good touch passing, and we got a 2-on-1 on the other end. Sinet, give off to Swanson. Great look as she held it to the last second. And that's Katie Swanson, who now has 6. Double dribble called, and that's a turnover for the Cardinals. Blue Jays 61-50, lead by 11 with 13 minutes to go in this all-important CCIW contest. Referee wasn't happy. I think they needed to check with the scores table before they let that pass in. Now Vaughn will inbound it to Schwertman in the front court. There, great look from Sinet to Schwertman, but it's no good. Schwertman wanted a foul, didn't get it, but it was Littman with the offensive rebound, and Sinet will take a 3. It's good. Sinet is 3 of 3 from beyond the arc in the second half, and the Blue Jays lead by 14. Karen Sinet having the half of the season thus far. 3 threes in the half. She has been spotting up from long range, and she is just drilling him. Oh, that's going to be a foul on Lauren Williams as she helps Vaughn up in a nice act of sportsmanship. That'll be Shoemaker's first foul. As we look at that again, they both went for the ball. Vaughn had possession, and then Williams just knocked her down.
That last Blue Jay basket.
There's Karen Sinette's three-pointer. That's 3 of 3 for her. Pretty much from the same spot on the floor as well. And Karen Sinette now has the Elmhurst career record in three-point percentage. She is also now 7th in Elmhurst history. 67 three-pointers in her, actually, excuse me, it's 68 three-pointers in her career, as she had one in the first half as well. Congrats to Karen Sinette, as she is setting all sorts of records here tonight on Senior Day. Great pass into Schwartman, Claire Monroe. What a great look to Schwartman, and put it right in the perfect spot for her to spin and lay it up with her right hand. Here's Williams spinning, a little out of control, and that's going to be Vaughn's 4th. That is Devin Vaughn's 4th foul. And that is going to hurt the Blue Jays, as Vaughn's probably going to have to sit. She reached in on Williams trying to go in for the lay-in, and Devin Vaughn, as you heard the cheers a little bit earlier, Devin Vaughn has now tied the career record for assists in a Blue Jay uniform. 286 assists in her career. She will have to sit, needing one more to break the record, but with 4 fouls, Coach Tetna Carrillo is going to let her sit probably, I would assume, until maybe the even 7 or 5 minute mark. You don't want Devin Vaughn, one of your great all-purpose players, fouling out in the waning minutes, even with a 14-point lead at the moment, as Swanson is stripped by Williams. Crowd wanted to travel, but they didn't get it, and now it's going to be another foul. Melanie Schwartman can't believe it. It's going to be on her, and that's Melanie Schwartman's 3rd. As we look at that last play, Schwartman didn't have her hands up, had her hands wide, and looks like as Paula Zarante was driving in, that she just got a little bit of the hand instead of a little bit of the ball. That's 3 on Schwartman, which means Elmhurst is in all sorts of foul trouble right now, and they may have to go deep for these next 6 minutes of the half. Zarante's first free throw was indeed good. One more shot for Zarante. Backspin, and it's good. 5 new bodies in for North Central, as they will press and they will keep on pressing. Karen Sinette, great. Not a very dangerous, it's a quite dangerous pass, but it works, and there's Sinette again on the far side as she gets it back from Monroe. It's one of Sinette's first dangerous passes of the evening, as she seemed to be all in control on Senior Day. Claire Monroe looking inside for Schwartman. Schwartman wants it with the height advantage over Svensson. Hannah Littman couldn't get the first one to go, but got fouled on the second one. That looks like it's going to be on Anita Sterling. Nope, it's going to be on Svensson instead. As we look, Svensson reached in with her right hand, and that was where the foul was called. That's 3 on Svensson. And Elmhurst is in the bonus now, as that is 7 team fouls for North Central. Hannah Littman's first free throw is good. They're going to take Svensson out, changing up the line a little bit with Tess Godhard coming in. Tess also has 3 fouls. But really, we got the story with this is the Blue Jays foul trouble. McMahon has 3, Vaughn has 4, Melanie Schwartman has 3, and Karen Sinette has 3. So that's 4 starters with 3 fouls, at least 3 fouls. Tess Godhard spinning to her left hand, no good. Great rebound by Littman, who hustled there, and now it's a 3-on-1, maybe a 2-on-1 as Sinette gets blocked hard by Kimberly Wilson. Sinet fell hard to the ground. The senior from Anchorage, Alaska gives a chuckle as her shot got rejected out of play. Katie Swanson. She's got Sinet deep, but we'll give it off to Lippman. Lippman skip pass for Sinet. North Central trying to pressure that pass. Monroe back down to McMahon. McMahon with the easy two. Fiona McMahon, she's got 17. Spinning to her left hand, that is Paula Zaranze with the great leaning layup. Here goes Karen Sinet. Sinet, give it off to Monroe. Dangerous pass, but it's still secured by Monroe. Fiona McMahon dribbling, gives it off to Lippman. Lippman dribbling out. Looks at, throws a wild, dangerous skip pass, but it goes to Sinet and opens the floor for McMahon, who couldn't get it to go. Thought gave up on the play, but then the ball was right in front of her and she grabbed it. Claire Monroe dribbling with her right hand. She's got the layup, but she is just short. McMahon fighting with the rebound with Godhart, gets it. Another fresh 30 for the Blue Jays as Sinet will slow it down. Back into McMahon, shoots again, no good. Lippman couldn't quite get there for the rebound, and North Central finally has possession as Beck brings the board down. Off the glass, no good, was Bachman, as Elmhurst was stuck under their own basket trying to get the ball out. Now it's a 3-on-1 if they hustle, and instead Elmhurst will call a full timeout. A couple of records today for the seniors. Karen Sinet, 64 three-pointers, but going into the game, now she's got 68, and her three-point percentage of 39%, .388, is tied for the Elmhurst career record. I would assume she has surpassed that today, as she is 3 of 4 on the day from behind the arc. Also, Devin Vaughn playing in her 100th career game this afternoon, has started 69 of them in every game this season. Her 284 assists going into the game were the second highest total in Elmhurst history, and she needed only 2 to tie, and she just did that in this half with 2 quick assists. And so she has tied the record at 286, and she is hoping to defeat that record sometime later in this game, but she has had to sit right now with 4 fouls. As North Central is, this frantic pace is giving so many possessions that Elmhurst is struggling with foul trouble. North Central will, I assume, will press as soon as Swanson gets over the line. They will hang back this time, maybe a little change up from the North Central coaching staff, as this is not their usual defense, as they're usually all up in the faces of the Elmhurst College players. 6 on the shot clock for McMahon. That's not her shot, but she's gonna take it anyway, and looks like she either got hit or she got blocked. 1 second on the shot clock, and the Blue Jays will inbound. As we look at that last play, McMahon, not used to shooting from way out in distance. Looks like there'll be about just over 1 second on the shot clock. Lippman's gonna have to get it in, and they're gonna have to hoist some up. McMahon's gonna have to hoist it up. She didn't get it off, and that'll be a shot clock violation. 14-point lead for the Blue Jays in this all-important CCIW contest. Winner stays alive for the number 4 seed. Great crowd on hand this afternoon. They've been very vocal all day, and that's an offensive foul. Away from the ball. Moving screen. Or it's a little push that I believe that that's the 8th team foul on North Central. But no shots quite yet. Here go the Blue Jays. Katie Swanson. Monroe wanted the shot. Just a little pump fake though. There's Kim Schwartman as the Blue Jays will go 4 small and 1 big with McMahon. The shot by Monroe is just off the mark. It goes off of Schwartman and Lippman, who both wanted that rebound. And it'll be North Central basketball as they bring on 4 new players. North Central needs one more as they only have 4. Oh, there's the 5th one. Excuse me, it was Grizafi was hiding by the North Central bench. This is Zagoda. Zagoda looking inside. Looked like Shoemaker didn't want that one. Tess Goddard for 3 is no good. The ball goes off of Karen Sinnett, pleading her case with the ref, but that's not going to help as it's going to be Elmhurst basketball. McMahon goes over to calm down Sinnett. Here, we'll look at that last play. Sinnett looked like she had her hands on the ball, but the ball may have been tipped out by number 34, Wilson for North Central, but I think Sinnett had her hand on it last. Good call by the ref, by the officials. There's Tess Goddard. She is finally in the scoring column after missing her first 10 shots of the evening. McMahon down low. Easy layup is good. Fiona McMahon. Fiona McMahon has 17 now as the 3 for North Central is off the mark, and Katie Swanson ended up with the rebound. Instead of securing it, number 30 Shoemaker decided to try to tip it out, and it went right to an Elmhurst Blue Jay. Katie Swanson at the top of the key. McMahon down low, spinning and hitting with her right hand. Great bunny jump hook for McMahon as she's got 19 points for the Blue Jays, and they lead 74-58. Here comes another substitution. As Schwerman will come in for the Blue Jays, we're gonna look at McMahon's last shot. One dribble off the pivot foot. Great floater there for Fiona McMahon, as she has been scoring all over the place with the lack of North Central's height. There goes a 3 from Zarante, is no good. The offensive rebound is secured by Beck, and she is fouled on the way up. We'll see who it's on. It could mean trouble for the Blue Jays if it's on the wrong person.
That foul charge to Claire Monroe.
Foul charge to Claire Monroe. That's only her first. The team's 5th. So Blue Jays escape as Beck gets the first free throw. Again, we'll remind you of the foul trouble. McMahon has 3. Vaughn on the bench with 4. Melanie Schwertman has 3. Karen Sinnett has 3. Kim Schwertman has 2. All sorts of foul trouble for the Blue Jays. 7:30 to go in the contest. Elmhurst leads by 15, 74-59, and the pass by Swanson is picked off, but it's dribbled off the leg of Beck, and Beck will fight for it, eventually get it, and give it off to Bobby Jones. Excuse me, Bobby Johns. Shot by Cooling is no good, and there's a foul on Cooling as she lost possession. As Karen Sinnett with a great hustle play, we'll watch it again. As the shot was off the mark, long. Karen Sinnett came down with the rebound and ripped it away as Kelsey Cooling tried to force the ball out of her hands. And now with 9 personal fouls, it's going to be 1-1 for Karen Sinnett, who is the leading free throw shooter on the Blue Jays at 87%. Karen Sinnett, one of the seniors, trying to set records today as well as win this contest so they can stay alive in the CCIW picture. Sinnett's first free throw is smooth. Karen Sinnett from Anchorage, Alaska, and Soldana High School. One more free throw gives the Blue Jays a 17-point lead. And there it is. 7 minutes to go. 17-point lead for the Blue Jays, who need to win this to stay in contention for the CCIW tournament. Zarante looking for Beck. Beck driving down the lane, no good. Offensive rebound to Svensson, who puts it back up and good. Great offensive rebound by Svensson. North Central, one of the leading offensive rebounding teams in the CCIW. Great touch passes from the Blue Jays. You could tell they worked on that in practice this week, as those touch passes are extremely important to break the North Central press. Speaking of the press, with how physically taxing that press is, here come 5 new Cardinals. Hannah Lippman to inbound. Back to Sinet. Sinet in an awkward position, but gives it off to Swanson, who dribbles it off the foot of Kimberly Wilson, and that's going to be another jump ball, possession arrow to the Cardinals. The Cardinals will gain possession, needing to make a move right here, down 15 with 6:30 to go as we look at Swanson dribbling it off the foot. No kickball, though. It was not intentional. Swanson dribbled off the foot. There's a foul and one. Marissa Claudis. That is her 13th and 14th points of the game on the left-handed hook shot. And that puts North Central within 13 as Schwartman and Swanson check out for Vaughn and McMahon. Claudis with this free throw would put him within 12 with 6:30 to go. Blue Jays trying to hold on. They've had trouble closing out games thus far this year. Had a couple of big leads in a few crucial games and couldn't hold on to the lead. We'll see what they can do today. This North Central press is going to be tough, and there's a steal. Williams with the steal, and instead of driving, she'll take a three, and that's Kimberly Wilson for three, and it's now a single-digit ball game. All of a sudden, it's a 7-0 run for the Cardinals. Sinet dribbling behind her back, watching out for Williams, who's coming behind her. Get into the front court, now Vaughn is double teamed. Need to take care of the ball here on this possession. A crucial possession for the Blue Jays. Sinet on the far side, that's just inside her. She's hit about 3 threes from right there, and she just stepped right inside the three-point line to hit. Great look, and Sinet takes a second for a shot to get going, but she can hit it. That was Claudis. That's 16 for Claudis, as there's another substitution. Replay on that shot, a great skip pass. Sinet had nobody within 5 feet of her, and she was able to take her time and knock down that shot, as she's been pretty from the field today. A 6 of 9, hitting 2/3 of her shots, as there's another North Central steal. Beck got fouled. Shot will not count. That's going to be 2 free throws, I believe, as she was in her shooting motion, as Vaughn's pass was into a triple team intended for Monroe. And Swanson got charged for the foul. That's Swanson's second. And now it's Erica Beck for North Central at the line. And the first one is good. It was 1-1, so they did not count it on the shot. All of a sudden, it's a 9-point ball game. One shot for Erica Beck, who had no points in the first half. That was her first points of the contest right there. First shot is just a little bit off the mark. That's a lane violation on Elmhurst. And so Beck's going to have a second chance at the second free throw. That's a mistake from the Blue Jays, and although it may not seem like a huge point right now, we'll remember that, because that could be a big point going forward. Beck goes out as the new 5 come in for North Central. Devin Vaughn with the extremely important task of making good inbounds passes. Every inbounds pass will be pressured. Vaughn looking for an open target, gives it to Sinet, who gives it up to McMahon, and they've broken the press. That doesn't mean they're out of the water yet, as there is Emily Zagota, who has a wide open layup, and it's good. I'm looking for a timeout, and Tethna Carrillo's going to call timeout, as all of a sudden it's a 7-point contest. Oh my goodness, and North Central's right back in it. Swanson looked kind of lackadaisical, stopped for a second, tried to dribble between 2 defenders. Williams must have gotten the ball, because it looks like she hip-checked Swanson, and Zagota had a free lane for the layup. Oh my goodness, it's all of a sudden it's a 6-point game. Tethna Carrillo has to tell her team it's time to calm down, relax. We've broken the press well this entire half. Just keep doing what you're doing. Quick touch passes, smart spacing. The spacing in these next few minutes is going to be absolutely crucial for the Blue Jays as they look for open targets. Full timeout for the Blue Jays as they talk this over. North Central has to feel confident. Their fans sure are, as the go card signs are out on the opposite sideline. Blue Jay fans cheering them on. They know how important this game is. Winner stays in contention for CCIW tournament spot. Elmhurst would need a win and a Milliken loss tonight at number 10 Carthage. Oh, and there's another steal. Oh my goodness, the inbounds pass was tipped. And it's kicked by Devin Vaughn. A good play, but kick ball, it'll stay with North Central. Subbing in for the Blue Jays, Hannah Lipman in for Devin Vaughn. Devin Vaughn, remember, playing with 4 personal fouls. McMahon on the floor with 3. Sinet on the floor with 3. Tess Godhart gives it off to Sterling. Here's Sterling again, looking for the 3, not there. Tess Godhart backing down McMahon, and it's good as North Central's fans are on their feet. 5 minutes to go, and it's a 4-point ball game. Pass is tipped out of bounds. North Central was looking for the turnover, but it'll stay with the Blue Jays. Hannah Lippman, the freshman, charged with the extremely important task of getting the ball in against this press. Karen Sinet gives it off, dangerous pass to Lippman, but it was smart as Lippman was right there to get it down the floor. Lippman, the freshman, gives it off to the senior Sinet. A little wild, but Sinet was able to corral it. Claire Monroe back down to McMahon. McMahon up and in for 2. 80-74 Blue Jays with 4:40 to go. Marissa Claudis looking to drive, gives off to your left hand, gives off to Tess Godhart, right inside the free throw line, no good. Rebound tipped around and Kate Swanson's got it. Elmhurst fans wanted a foul, but it wasn't there as 2 North Central players were reaching for the steal. Pass into Swanson. Swanson looking for McMahon. Low pass, but it's up and it's good, and 1. Katie Swanson with the good look. It was a little low, but Fiona McMahon was fouled by Anita Sterling down low. Made the basket, and it'll be a free throw for the junior from St. Charles, Illinois. Fiona McMahon to make it a 9-point contest once again. Elmhurst trying to stunt the North Central comeback. Elmhurst fans feeling all right, at the same time a little nervous right now. 9-point game with 4:15 to go. Bobby Johns gives it off. That's Paula Zarante looking inside. It's deflected and off of an Elmhurst player. Here's that last play. McMahon actually blocked it. Great move by McMahon, but North Central will get the ball back. Pass. Dribbling down into that's Johns. Johns gives it off. That's back. Back up and fouled. Katie Swanson, that is her 3rd. That's a tough foul on Swanson, but that's the call, and Beck will be there to shoot 2. Beck looking to bring it to a 7-point contest. 3:53 left to go. Beck off the back iron and good. North Central does indeed, and even though they're 4-9 in the conference, would stay alive in the conference picture with a win. Elmhurst looking to get a win and a Milliken loss to get into the CCIW tournament. North Central needs a win and a lot of help. Beck's second free throw is off the mark. Blue ball as a lane violation was called. Blue Jay basketball. Lane violation, I believe it was on Tess Godhart, who had her foot on the line. Hannah Lippman, number 23, the freshman from Chicago, Illinois, and Queen of Peace High School, looking to keep the ball in the Blue Jay hands. The inbounds pass is so important as it sets up the rest of the breaking the press. The North Central coach, Michelle Roof, looking for an explanation there, but it was not. When And she got it. She walks away from the ref, hoping not to blow off too much steam at the official. Katie Swanson picks up her dribble a little early, gives it back to Lippman. Lippman trying to break the press, and they do. Sinet will kind of chill out. There's no waiting against this North Central defense, though, as if you hold the ball too long, you got 3 North Central Cardinals on you all of a sudden. Lippman trying to drive, lost possession for a second, lost it again, but Monroe was able to get it. 10 on the shot clock. Lippman dribbling with her left hand, gives it off to Sinet. Sinet driving baseline, floater is blocked, but there's a foul. Foul is charged to Sterling, number 35. That is 4 on Sterling. Karen Sinet, the leading Blue Jay free throw shooter. As we look at that last replay, Sterling couldn't believe it. She put her hands on her head, shocked at the official for calling her on that foul. But Sinet, the senior from Anchorage, Alaska, on senior day, has a chance to extend this Blue Jay lead to double digits. And there's the first free throw. She's an 87% free throw shooter on the season. Trying to lead her team. You can tell how pumped she is every time Blue Jays make a basket. She knows the importance of this game. Karen Sinet, perfect at the line thus far tonight. Excuse me, this afternoon. 3 of 3 so far. Her second free throw is up and good. She's 4 of 4. This North Central will push. 3:20 to go. There's the layup is good from Johns. Fiona McMahon looking for Sinet. Sinet, the calm senior presence on the floor for the Blue Jays. Monroe, Fiona McMahon's wide open onto the basket, but that would have been a dangerous pass. Smart play by Monroe, but the layup by Lippman is off the backboard and down, and the rebound goes to Marion Beck of North Central. Williams inside, gives it off to Beck. Beck almost traveled with it, but did not. Beck got bumped by McMahon, and maybe it's Lippman. Nope, that is charged to Fiona McMahon, and that is her 4th. Fiona McMahon has 4 singles to the bench. Say, leave me in, coach. She didn't. She was moving, and she bumped Marion Beck to the ground, and she'll have 2 shots. Marion Beck rattles the first one in. 85-77. You can see why McMahon told Tethne Carrillo to keep her in the ballgame. We still haven't seen Devin Vaughn for a while as she's on the bench with 4 fouls. Second free throw from Beck is up and good. Another line change for North Central as they are going to press like they've never pressed before in these last 3 minutes. Hannah Lippman gets the ball into Sinet, the calm senior presence. Looking around, there's Lippman. Lippman, the freshman, looking back for Sinet. They need to get it across half court. Monroe, and they just do get it across as Swanson's got a 3-on-2. Swanson, low pass to McMahon. That's been a trouble spot. They've been bounce passing it to McMahon, and they haven't bounced it high enough for her. The passes have been down by her knees. There's the layup, and that's good. Marissa Claudis. Marissa Claudis has 18 points for the Cardinals, and she brings it to a 4-point ball game. 2:20 to go, and there's a foul. If that's on Tess Godhart, that's her 5th. It is Tess Godhart. As we look at the replay, Katie Swanson got bumped. And that's another foul on Godhart. That is actually, her 4th, so she would be able to stay in the ball game. Katie Swanson at the line. First one is good. Katie Swanson as North Central subs once again. Katie Swanson looking to extend it to a 6-point ball game with 2:19 remaining. Katie Swanson's second free throw is good. Hannah Lippman will pressure a little bit and then back off. Here, the crowd getting into it. There's a chance of defense. Offensive foul as Claire Monroe got whacked in the face, it looked like. That's Kelsey Cooling's 3rd foul. And that should be 2 free throws, I believe. There's all sorts of contact between Cooling, or excuse me, there's not free throws. Elmhurst fans are hoping for a technical foul. I believe our Cooling was jawing at Claire Monroe. The official laughing with Hannah Littman, and he's about to hand the ball off. And head coach Michelle Roof took Cooling out of the game before she could get herself a technical. Claire Monroe looking a little shaky with the ball, but gives it off to the sure-handed Sinet. Sinet, dangerous pass to Monroe. Back to Sinet. Sinet looking around, double teamed and fouled. Looks like Beck. That'll be Beck's 4th personal. Karen Sinet will be at the line once again. Perfect 4 of 4 on the evening. 87% for the season. No free throws bigger than this one. And it's good. 7-point Elmhurst lead. 2 minutes to go in the contest. As we saw in the replay, foul charged to Marion Beck in her 4th. Karen Sinet's 2nd free throw is true. Johns dribbling around, looking for an open target, and it's stolen by Littman. Littman with the steal, and with 1:47 left, she's trapped in the corner. Timeout. Tethnic Carrillo trying to get a timeout, and she does. What a huge steal by Hannah Littman with 1:44 to go. 8-point lead, and the ball as we look at that last play. Johns dribbling around, almost aimlessly looking for somebody else. And Littman saw the little bit of she took it away from her body for just a second. Got it over half court and then got stuck, and that was when the timeout was called. So we'll reset it for you. Fans out there, we had Elmhurst in the double bonus. Up by 8 with 1:44 to go. Blue Jays just called a timeout. Possession arrow favors them, as does the scoreboard as they're up by 8. Tethnic Carrillo talking to her team, making sure they are calm during this phase. They've been a little bit too antsy against the press in the last, I'd say, like 8 or 9 minutes, and that's what's allowed North Central back in the contest. Is earlier in this half, the Blue Jays had a huge lead of 16. They break the huddle, and Elmhurst has to be a little bit winded as well. They went deep into their bench early in the first half because they looked winded because of this frantic pace that North Central has thrusted upon them. Elmhurst fans getting into the game, just as North Central's fans did during the comeback. Sinet is wide open. She's got the inbounds pass. Sinet, double team, gives it to Swanson. Swanson's bad pass is off of Littman's leg and out of bounds. A turnover for the Blue Jays. 8 minutes left. 8-point lead. North Central, 1:30 left in the ball game. This is Claudis giving down to Godhart. Fiona McMahon, what a block by Fiona McMahon as it takes it away from Godhart. She had the height advantage, she knew it, did not foul, kept her hands up. Here comes Claire Monroe, 2-on-1 with McMahon. Gives it off to McMahon, layup is up and good. Fiona McMahon and extends Elmhurst's lead to 10 with 1:14 to go. Marissa Claudis looking inside, pass is stolen, McMahon has it. Now Claire Monroe has it, dribbling around. Swanson and Sinet. Sinet needs to get over half court and does not. That's a 10-second violation. Here's the pass from Monroe to McMahon. Great look. That's what you got to do against this press. If you break it, you're going to have those 2-on-1 opportunities, and that, especially late in the game, got to convert on those. 10-point game, 54.6 seconds remaining. North Central with the ball. Got to think they're going to look for a 3 at some point, but they're going to go for the easy 2. McMahon got another block. That's 2 straight possessions. McMahon has gotten a block. Williams down low, fighting against McMahon. Puts it up, and it's good. Missouri Williams Hannah Littman looking for somebody to get into. Gets into Monroe, and it's off Williams' leg with 41.6 seconds to go. Got to avoid the costly turnover here. 8-point game, get it over half court. That's good, but now they're going to trap. Look out for the trap. Monroe gets fouled. That's number 12, Grizafi, with the foul. Here's the replay as Monroe looked a little shaky, but Grizafi came almost to carry there, but Grizafi came over and whacked her. Claire Monroe's first free throw is no good. Another free throw for Monroe to try to extend the lead to 9 with 35.4 remaining. Winner stays in contention for the CCIW 4th seed. Monroe's second free throw is good. Here comes North Central, pushing the pace. That's Johns. That's a 3, no good. Rebound to Swanson, and North Central's going to have to foul as the shot clock should be turned off. McMahon, great passing. They're going to foul McMahon as Claudius basically jumped into her. Coach Degna Carrillo applauding her team for a great effort in these last 5 minutes as they've held this lead, something they've really struggled at doing. Something that Fiona McMahon mentioned. They were extremely, even though they lost against Illinois Wesleyan, as she makes the first free throw, she said that that was such a crucial game for them as they did hold the lead until the end, and they knew that that was their weak point throughout the season. And to be able to play well against Illinois Wesleyan, one of the top teams in the conference, that was an extremely important stepping stone for them. And now they're up 10 with 15 seconds left against North Central with a bid to the CCAW tournament on the line. North Central will call a timeout. Again, back to that story. Fiona McMahon was interviewed, and she was saying that even though they lost to Illinois Wesleyan, who right now is at 10-3 in the conference, one of the top teams, they knew that that game was so important for them because they knew they could hold the lead. They came together as a team, and that it was extremely important coming into this game, which means so much. We'll reset that stage for you as well during this timeout. Both teams need to win to stay in contention. Elmhurst needs a win and a Milliken loss tonight against Carthage. And note that Carthage is the best team in the conference, going for the outright CCIW title in that game. So although you never know what could happen, it's at Carthage. Carthage is 11-1 in the conference. Milliken at 5-8. Which makes it seem like that if that's a Carthage win, then Elmhurst will go into the CCIW tournament as the number 4 seed, most likely playing Carthage on the road. That's what's on the line here. 13.3 to go, 8-point game. Blue Jays just need to avoid disaster here. For those of you Indiana Pacers fans, maybe a Reggie Miller type disaster. Maybe if you're a New York Knicks fan, it's a New York Knicks versus Reggie Miller type disaster. Sinet is fouled. That's they're looking for her, as Sinet is the leading free throw shooter on the team. There's the inbounds pass, and then she just got whacked a couple times by Wilson and Claudius. Karen Sinet, number 22, the senior. 8th on the all-time list in three-pointers, 87% from the line, 7 of 7 on the night. First free throw for the Anchorage, Alaska seniors, up and good. Averaging 9.6 points on the season, but these free throws, that is her 23rd point of the ball game. Her second free throw is up and good. She has been money from the line, 9 of 9, 24 points for the senior Karen Sinet, leading the Blue Jays into a possible berth in the CCIW tournament as the clock winds down. The Blue Jays win. Blue Jays win on senior day, 93-85 over North Central. What a great performance from the Blue Jays, beating a team they lost to in Naperville earlier in the year. Like we said before, the Blue Jays will be scoreboard watching as at 5 o'clock, Milliken travels to Carthage. If Carthage wins that game, the Blue Jays will be the number 4 seed in the CCIW tournament. What a great win. Final score, 95-85. Let's go over some stats really quick Fiona McMahon was the leading scorer with 29. Karen Sinnett leading the Blue Jays 37 minutes and 24 points, along with 9 of 9 from the free throw line. None more important than those down the stretch. For North Central, scoring all across the board, Marissa Claudis, the only one in double figures with 18. Uzuri Williams had 9. Wilson had 8. Final score from R.A. Fagnall Hall: Elmhurst 95, Carthage 85, or North Central 85. Make sure you stay tuned, as in about 30 minutes, the men's basketball team will also be taking on North Central for a chance to get even in the conference. So glad you were able to tune in today. I'm Luke Tanaka. Thank you for watching. This has been Elmhurst College Women's Basketball on BlueJayTV.com.